All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Kickback Podcast. It's your boy Chris Lee and your boy Soul Lee. Um, we're talking about a topic today is a little different than what we normally talk about. This one is what you might have been seeing on social media. A mom is angry at baby dad for bringing food to his kid only instead of the other four kids that she had. Now, this young lady had four kids. Only one of them was from this young man, and she's upset because he brought his child something and not hers. I have the audio here. We will take a listen to it and then give our opinions. Welcome to the Kickback Podcast.
Every single day, my baby daddy comes here with one meal for my child. But I have three other kids. We have one kid today. We only want to celebrate one kid at McDonald's. Don't want about my other kids. How come you can't see my other kids at McDonald's? Like, like you're not going to sit here and make my other kids feel left out. We're only bringing one child from the look, there you go. And I bet you only got one thing in there. I bet you he only. I'm finna expose this so people can see how he's really angry. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One fry? Okay, what about my other kids? What's your other kids? What? Okay, you know something? You're my kid. He's a kid sibling, bro. So he finished. My other kid finished working out. You didn't beat him? You know I don't give my phone to the sibling. Then if you're trying to help yourself, you're not helping yourself. How are you helping yourself when you already can't get this having a other his siblings? Them are his siblings, though. He's not going to eat with all his other siblings. He's not going to get out of town. No. No. He's not going to eat with his sons. You can't bring it up for everybody. Yes. How is that? You sound dumb. Nobody told me. You had to your responsibility. Okay, but if you're going to bring it home, you need to bring it for all. How do I later? One crowd eating McDonald's and all the rest of the kids eating no fucking McDonald's. You know I get punched on that level. Three kids anymore. Yeah. Very important. You know what you're getting into when you had a baby with me. Yes, you did. Okay, but you still have a baby who have kids with other people and other kids. Because I'm everybody think you're my daddy. No, you're not. You only come here with one piece of food for one child. No, that's that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody else. He can't eat it.
All right, so we pretty much got the gist of that. I just kind of wanted to let it play out because a lot of times on social media, when you play videos or when you see videos, you only see one side of the party or be a snippet, and that snippet only tells one side of the story. So I had to let that play out so that young man can voice his behalf on it because a lot of snippets that's going around on social media, it's only showing her side of the story really. So I'm gonna start with your thoughts, Mr. Soley. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to say it's kind of it's kind of hard because you got so many things to ask about this. It's like, yeah, they are siblings. You know, at the end of the day, they're siblings. No matter who the dad is, you know, at the end of the day, they family together. So I understand on one end, it's like, yeah, you bring something for everybody because you don't want the other kids to look at that one kid. And it draws, a division between his son and the rest of the kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you ask, does the other kid's father bring his kid food
Mm-hmm.
too? You know,
That's a good one.
um, do you? I mean, it's like you can always chalk it up with less words as possible. Ain't got enough money. I
Right.
can't feed everybody. Ain't got enough money.
Right.
You know. So yeah, I'm taking care of the kid that I got with you. You know. So that's how I'm looking at it. It's I hear that the dude is in this situation, but as far as putting it on social media, talking about the girl, I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't, I don't think I don't think every argument is meant to be discussed through millions. You know, it ain't it ain't for everybody. Like they could have kept this in their own house. You know, so she with her doing this and putting it out on social media, and then people looking at her like saying bad stuff about her, like she brought this on herself too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it ain't everybody business. What y'all go through at your house, like I said, if he bringing food for his kid, then okay, that's his kid. But does your other baby daddies bring the other dude kid food too? You know, you got to ask those questions. It's like saying we are quick to make a conclusion or make a some kind of assumption, about different problems without even looking at the whole story and actually thinking it through. But and that's my logic on it, man. Does the other kid's father bring his kid food? Um, like I said, it's both ways. It's both ways. Because
Right.
they're all siblings. I understand that they're all siblings.
Right.
But you know, I don't know. I mean, he could just get one of those big. What is it? Is that McDonald's got the
Oh
big?
yeah, yeah. You get like 5 burgers and 5 fries for like $10 or something.
Right. But
Right.
she can also do that too.
Right.
So and the other kid's father,
Or pizza.
or pizza. But if all if his pockets are set for a Happy Meal pocket, if he got a Happy Meal pocket, then
Mm-hmm.
who am I to judge? That and he's still trying to look after his kids.
He's still trying to take care of responsibility.
Right? Yeah. So I'm like, yo, how can you argue 100% on how can you argue at this dude? Because then you ask, all right, you can say, well, at least he's taking care of his kids. Then it'll be you can argue, but damn man, he don't need to take care of his own kids.
Yeah.
But he is taking care of his kids.
He taking care of his. What's his?
Right, taking care of his kid. Right.
Right.
So that's my logic on it, man. So
I completely understand that, man. I see it in 2 ways too. I think the underlying concern is what I have is how the underlying concern is how is the mother taking care of these kids? Like that's a bigger question. The bigger question is, if you don't get your food steps to the level I'm constantly stating, you're alluding to not having the means to feed your kids until you get the food stamps, which means those kids are going hungry.
That's true.
And if those kids are going hungry, then how are you fit to be a parent?
That's true.
Because, yeah, the baby fathers of the other kids need to play their part as well, for certain. And we're not kind of like giving them the pass, but they're not held on trial here at this present time. So if you got 4 kids and you can't feed them and you're relying on one individual to feed, to take care of your responsibility, then I think that's lacking on your behalf as a mother. Because I know a lot of single mothers. I've been in a environment. So I know a lot of single mothers that got it done. You know, they got busy, you know, and fed their kids. They didn't need help from nobody outside, you know. So if you're relying on A, the government for food stamps, B, you're relying on one of your baby fathers to take care of additional 3 kids, if not his, that shows you as an individual are not capable enough to be adult and take care of your responsibilities. So you static on your end? You don't?
Okay, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. Last podcast we had a little audio issue. I'm trying to fix that. Trying to figure out where the problem's coming from. But bear with us, please. Yeah. So I just felt like this young lady have no business in a position with 4 kids if she can't take care of them. And I think things happen, you know. Who's to say them 3 kids are from one other man and they might have been in a relationship? Hell, they might have been married, might have been engaged, might have about the time not, might have, you know, then the old boy dipped out or some situation might have removed him from it. He might have, who knows what his fate might have been. He may not be in the picture and may not have control over that. You know, he might be passed away, he might be incarcerated, he might be states away. Who knows what that situation is? So, you know, but at the same token, if you got 4 kids, you gotta understand like they livelihood is on me, not on this other man or not on this other guy. Because what if that other man was a deadbeat father too, or what if he wasn't in the picture? Then who will you rely on? You know, what if the food stamps cut? What if they cut your food stamps? Then what you got to rely on? Okay, you know, so what you got to rely on then? You know. So that's one of the scenarios where you have to understand as an adult, I gotta pull myself up. I gotta get my mess together. So I don't think that young man should be held accountable for something that's not his responsibility. However, if it was that serious and she knew he was bringing his son food, if she knew he was on the way, then the conversation should have been clearly was, hey, do you mind picking up something for these kids as well? Do you mind grabbing the pizza? Well, what are you getting him to eat? I'm getting McDonald's. Okay. Do you mind grabbing them something to eat? Right now, I mean, I'm not able to. And that conversation probably would have solved all that, you know. Or do you mind grabbing the pizza?
Because I forgot what she looked like on the response that she had for the for social media, you know, because she can. I'm trying to see if she was all done up, you know, with her, you know, with her nails, her lashes, her hair. Not saying that that's a problem. I'm just saying like she can actually give the other father, you know, a couple dollars. You can cash up what cash up me. I don't know how much Happy Meals cost now, but just cash up me some money so I can go ahead and, you know, put it to this other Happy Meal so I can give everybody some, you know, or go half on it, you know. So I mean,
yeah,
this is one of those crazy things, man. It's like,
Yeah.
But as far as putting it out there for the world, like what are you doing that for? You know, are you trying to get sympathy? Are you trying to make that father look bad? You know, because it's only so many things you're gonna get from putting it out to social media. You know, and most of the time it's gonna be a negative connotation of what's gonna happen. You know, so
Yeah, it could be different alternatives. You know, I do feel like we're in an era where everything has to be posted on social media, and it's very unfortunate about that. Give me one second. Sorry about that, y'all. Speaking of fathers and fathers' duty and responsibility, I'm here with my kids today, so they're in there watching cartoons. I'm multitasking. This is what fathers look like in real life. Okay, not definition on Hollywood, and this is multitasking. Trying to follow a goal and a dream, a mutual dream between me and Soli, and be a parent. It could be done. It's possible, people. Yeah. So. Yeah, man, things being put on social media, I do believe, is the problem with a lot of problems with you know what I'm saying. So there's a lot of problems with everybody and their grandma, you know, wanting to know about what's going on in your household, what's going on around you. So you gotta broadcast, you gotta show the world. I think it's reality TV too as well. Reality TV got a lot of people in the position to where they feel like they got to show the world what's going on in their world, so they can say, "See what I'm saying," or "See what I mean." Or, "I'm not this. I'm not that. This person was that situation." And I think reality TV kind of really, especially in the minority in our community, so reality TV really created this falsehood that everything you do got to be broadcast. But what they don't realize is these reality stars are getting paid greatly to do that for the invasion of their privacy. And a lot of times they don't even want their privacy. They argue with producers about what they want to put out and what they don't want to put out. So they're under the gun in a lot of cases and under contract. So we have to discuss things they don't want to discuss. I watch a lot of reality TV with my wife to understand a lot of these stars, they even leave these shows because of just intrusion. So we mimic that because, again, we as Americans, or especially as our generation, we love drama. We love anything that's negative. So watching this situation with these two is entertainment, you know, to us. And it's a different occurrence because, yeah, it opened up a conversation that needed to be had in a lot of co-parenting situations. But in the same token, it gives us a negative portrayal of ourselves as well.
Yes, definitely. Because a lot of times, like if I'm scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or something like that, I will see a story like this, and it is or on Facebook, and listen, people are laughing about it, and I'm trying to figure out like what's so funny about what's really funny about this situation, you know, being you seeing that a child can't eat, you know, or like what's really funny about it, but to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, most definitely. I just think, you know, it's just one of those things to where I feel like, not to get on the Kevin Samuel train, but I feel like this: if you don't have kids in this right now, if you're watching this podcast and you don't have kids, right? Female or male, if you don't have children, and you're not in a relationship with someone that has children, you're kind of like on the market for them. You would have to understand is when you date someone who have kids, you also dating. You also when kids is a package deal.
Mm-hmm.
So when you date someone who has kids, you're not just dating them, and them kids are just, you know, lawn furniture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you dating them, you also taking up the responsibility of what the father could not do or not available to do. So you can't say, "Hey, I love you, girl. I want to be with you, but I don't know about these kids over here." You know, if you don't want that dynamic, or you don't want to be in this young man's dynamic, and she said you knew what you signed up for. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you knew this young lady had 3 kids already, and you probably experienced the lack of fatherhood that these other fathers are giving these kids, you could have seen a preview of what your life would have been like. Like if these fathers are not present now, and I'm dating her before my kid is brought into the picture at all, then I gotta understand like it's going to be expected of me to pick up the weight of the tab.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you're single and you don't have kids and you're not really ready for kids, you're not ready for the responsibility, then by all means do not get entangled with someone who have kids. You know, and it's hard to do that now because almost every third person in America has a kid. You know, whether they make kids' lives or they give them for adoption or whatever the situation is, they have a child. And I think responsibility should be on both sides. A lot of times when we talk about responsibilities, we expect this to be just a fatherly thing. We're expecting the mother to be always the one who's doing everything. We expect the mother to always be sacrificing. We expect the mother to always be the responsible one. But that's not always the case. In this case, if you knew your kids was hungry, I'm not going to wait on you to feed my kids. I'm going to figure out how to make some moves to feed my 4 kids.
Yeah, and who says that the kids' father, the other kids that are that's getting left out in this situation, who says that the father is not father or fathers are not in their lives? Like we don't actually know. You know, it could be that they just don't bring them food during the week, how this other dude does. But it could be like that. We don't know because we always assume the worst, so it could be like that.
I understand, man. Because it's one of those things where we don't fully understand the dynamic, and I think these videos don't really show. This young man could have been to the food on other occasions, but it's just this occasion he didn't.
Right.
And it could have been where his money, like you said, his money could have been short. He could have been in between jobs. He could have been, his brother could have just paid rent, and that's all he got. He could have just had enough just to put in gas to buy his son something. So we don't know this man's dynamic to really demonize him. But the fact that he's bringing his son something to eat, the fact that he's doing that, we gotta understand, like, that's responsibility. He's doing his part of responsibility because he brought this child into this world with this young lady, and he's doing what he needs to do to make sure that child is fed, make sure that child is nutritious, make sure that child is raised to protect it, right? Whether he's in the household or not, he's trying at least, And I think in her particular case, the bigger question is, if you know you have 3 kids, and now you're laying down to have a 4th, and you already maybe having issues with 3, why on earth would you put yourself in the position for a 4th? Now, a lot of times we talk about this Planned Parenthood and this abortion thing and pro-rights or whatever, and so my kids be all through here. So with the right, now there's some states that ban abortion where you can abort. You have to go through having this child. And there's some states that say, hey, it's up to the woman, it's pro-choice, it's up to whatever you decide.
Yeah.
And that's another topic for another day. But however, I feel like this. I remember watching, I don't know what it was, I was watching TV and it was talking about the abortion thing, and it was on regular TV. And
it's still.
yeah, I got the little static.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
out now?
It's good.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But I think I was watching it, and I wasn't like just how you watch TV, you don't watch TV, it's like in the background, you're just kind of doing something. Well, they was talking about the abortion thing, the bill being passed or whatever. And there was a story or the segment they were saying that this lady who, get this now, who had 3 kids. Was it 3 kids? Yeah, 3 kids. And she she got pregnant 3 times. That's what it was. She got pregnant 3 times. And she was having abortion on those 3 terms. Now she ended up being pregnant for the 4th time, and her argument was, I can't now. I'm in a state. I think she's in Texas. Now I'm in a state where I can't even abort this would-be 4th baby, and she's upset because she is not given the right to her body to get rid of this 4th or to, how can I put a proper term, to stop.
Just having an abortion, huh?
Yeah, the abortion. And she was very upset about it. And then the people in the news segment was like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for her. Shame on you, America. But I think the bigger question is, we all adults here. Let's address the elephant in the room. There are rare cases where if someone is raped or molested, right? Or taken against their will, then yeah, sure, right? But I think as grown, functional adults, if you lay down without protection, you got to know the outcome could be 50-50, right? So you can't be mad at a state for saying, hey, you got to take care of that responsibility and holding you accountable to that responsibility. You can't be mad at that. As adults, you know the proper precautions. You know there's birth controls. There are multiple different types of birth control out there now. Plethora of different types of them, right? You got condoms, different, you got to have the responsible conversations with your spouse or your person you're dating about, hey, this could be a situation. But you need to groom who you're dating. That's the problem. A lot of this generation, a lot of us, we lay down with anybody, and we don't know enough of them to bring a child into the world. We don't know their history. We don't know their background. We don't know if they're capable of being a parent.
We don't even know our history.
We don't know our history, correct?
Because whatever our history is, we are putting it into this child that we're going to have.
Right.
Not just saying our heritage history. I'm just saying our history, our family history. We don't even know that. A lot of, I'm not going to say we. A lot of us don't even know that to even tell the doctors what can we be looking for, what did your mom go through, what did their mom go through, because it could be a long line of different problems that family has had, that goes from bloodline to bloodline, but we don't even know that either. So yeah, I agree with you saying, man, because everybody's grown in this situation.
Right. Everybody's grown. And we put ourselves in this dynamic where now I'm in a situation where I got multiple kids, different baby fathers. The first baby father was, whatever his case was, he's not in the picture. Second baby father, he's not in the picture for whatever reason. The third baby father is fine, but he's not consistent, right? So now I got a 4th baby father. My thing is just like this, bro. How many times you go touch the eye of the soul before realizing this shit is hot?
Hey man.
How many times? Yeah, how many times you going to, you know, walk out in the rain without an umbrella?
My bad,
You
my
know,
bad, my bad.
you good. We all got distractions. This is real life, people. This is a real podcast. This is real life, all right? But how many times you gonna put yourself in a situation where you know what the outcome is? It's like baseball. Who strikes you out? You know, you learn from your mistakes, and a lot of times as men, we're demonized because you're a bad baby father. You ain't in your child's life. You're not taking care of your kids. You're not with me. But the underlying thing is a lot of these women cases is, and I know a lot of these fathers could say the same. It's a bitterness. Because a lot of times everything could be okay, everything could be mutual. But as soon as that father finds someone else in his life, someone else he's committed to, that's when the BS come around. That's where the baby mama drama start to kick up. That's when you want this because you want this person to be with you because they label you as a child. You want to get in this child's life. There's nothing wrong with that, ladies. By the way, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's no crime in that. There's nothing wrong. I agree. It should be that case. But however, we don't take the proper time to learn each other to know if we're compatible or not before laying down and creating a life for them. Now you're not compatible with this person. Now you got a child that you got to raise and to try to explain to them why mommy and daddy not together. You know,
Right.
so
Right. And like I was saying, the things that you don't like about your baby father or your baby mama, it has gotten passed through the bloodline. So now that child may have those same characteristics, as what you don't like about the other parent. So I mean, you've really got to learn who you land down with before you go that extra mile. Because I mean, once you in there, you in there. You know.
Exactly.
So
Agree, man. But just to put out this disclaimer, I'm not saying I'm pro-life or against any of that. I feel like I leave it at that. Because I'm a male. I'm not. I don't feel your child for 9 months. I don't know the labor pains. I don't know that. Your kids, I didn't birth. So I don't want to step on any women's like toes or there might be someone going through that particular situation. You might watch the podcast and get opinion. I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm just saying, as adults. Now, again, if you're a minor, you having sex for the first time, and learning your body, a lot of those things come to inexperience, right? That's why when you go to you do driver's ed, right? They give you a driver's ed class to show you how to properly drive. Then you got to get a permit. That permit is pretty much a crowd runner having a license. Then you get the actual license, so it's like a graduation hood with all that. So it gives you the opportunity to learn. And with that opportunity to learn, it gives you like experience. And I feel like when it comes to parenthood, a lot of times these young ladies not given the opportunity. They're 16 and 20. They had a whole TV show on MTV or VH1 called 16 and Pregnant, right? And that glorified the fact of being an adolescent with a child. They glorified that. They gave that a platform where you gave other young adolescents the falsehood that this is okay. This is cool. And then realize in reality, you don't have camera crew following you around. You're not getting paid per episode like these young ladies are. You really facing the real life of this situation. You facing what's really going on. You're dropping out of school. You're trying to find a job. You're trying to feed your kids. You got a baby father who may or may not be present. So you really facing the reality of the story. So in that particular case, I'm not speaking to them because they're young. But far as adults, right? 18 on up, you know what you do when you lay down, right? They got Plan B pills out here. You feel me? If you feel like, hey, I might be impregnated or this might be a situation where I could be pregnant. Man, they got plan B. They got alternatives to plan B. Do not get the generic ones, okay? By the way, just like don't get the generic ones. They don't work. Okay. But get plan B. So with that being said, or whatever it may be, you gotta be cautious. If you're going to have herpes, I recommend being with somebody you've been with for years and you know this person, you know how responsible they are, right? Because if you find a plan to have children, that's okay, but make sure you plan with somebody who's in it to win it. Not somebody who just laying down a Peterbird, not somebody who just play that sex, not somebody who just you want them and you don't want nobody else to have them, right? Or you try to lock them down, trap them. No, somebody that you really can deal with. And I think a lot of us, we don't have that conversation with our kids. They want to feel good. So they go out and have, oops, here comes a baby. Get rid of it. And that's unfair because that child didn't ask to be here. So, and I'll say this, and I'll jump off. I feel like this. If you say lives matter, whether it's all lives matter, whether it's black lives matter, whether it's blue lives matter, whether it's transgender lives matter, babies' lives matter. I just put that out there. Just because they're not fully formed, that's still a life. Still a life. So take it how you want it. But at the end of the day, that life needs to be. How would you feel? Or how would you think this would have been if our parents would have said, "Oh, we're not ready for church. We're not ready for police." Right? Now, again, there are circumstances where that is understood. You're raped, molested, taken advantage of, you're adolescent. Understood. But as a adult, with a responsibility, you're grown ass woman and grown ass man. You know what you lay down. You know what can happen. You didn't just learn yesterday. Oh dang, a baby could happen. You know this. You know what you signed up for. The minute you go inside, you know what can happen if you don't have to pay. So don't act stupid or don't act crazy when she's pregnant or I'm pregnant. Now I want to. No. There's no do-overs. You knew what you went into. You want to rob a bank. You know there's a possibility you can be locked up or killed. Correct? If you go to war, you know there's a possibility you can be shot or killed. Correct? Right. So why are you not expecting, an outcome of a child when you go to lay down in that particular situation? That is nuts to me. I think that's insane. Yeah. So back to that young lady situation where she kept saying, "You need to feed all these kids." That's what I see. That's what I hear. Is she wasn't prepared. She wasn't prepared for this responsibility.
What's up, nephew?
He keep wanting to be in the podcast so bad, y'all. This is my son Ken. He wants to be in the podcast. All right, man. So, for real, man. Like this young lady, when I hear, I don't get my son to this day. You need to feed these kids. For me, that was a cry out for help. It's saying I'm drowning and I need help with these 4 kids. I need help. And you projecting that insecurity.
Hold on, static.
You projecting. Can you hear me now?
It's still static.
Right. I don't know, folks. I have no idea.
Okay, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah. All
right. So you're projecting that insecurity and that fear. That fear of waking up with 4 kids. I got 3 kids in the house alone just for the day, and I'm scared shitless. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know, y'all. They can tie me up and run. I don't know. I'm afraid for my life with 3 kids just for one day. Not even a day, a couple hours. My wife be home in a couple hours, and I'm scared. I don't every day. You home yet? I'm at the door with the kids. We standing there together looking at the window, So I understand the responsibility of having multiple kids. And so we got to understand her side. We don't want to demonize her neither, because we don't know, she really might be going through it. And we hope that young lady finds some help, find herself in a position where she can take care of her kids, you know. And you know, so with that being said, that's her projecting, I need help, onto this young man here. And he's just a deer in the headlights. She might have just got off the phone with the other baby daddy, because I'm not gonna say she got 4 baby daddies. That's nuts. The stereotype. But she might have got off the phone with the other baby father, and he might have been giving her some nah, whatever. And so now she's projecting on this young man. So that could have been the case. We don't know. We don't know. And she's like, I don't know what else to do. I need help. I don't have no money. And he comes, and boom, he's a target. He's a target for all the aggression she had built up. And a lot of times with young baby mothers, that aggression of wanting that baby father, or you hell-bent against that baby father, you don't like him because you believe he manipulated you into having a child, then dipping. And that is a very, very, very traumatic position to be in, from believing that this man is going to be in your life. So you welcome him in and let him proceed a child with you. And he don't take care of that responsibility. That gotta be heartbreaking. You know, that gotta be heartbreaking if you don't have that person to be in your life as you expect it. So I mean, I can understand both sides of the spectrum, but it goes to what I'm saying is, you gotta understand who you're laying down with. Now, if you out here just being the thought or hot boy summer, hoochie daddy summer, or hot girl summer, that's on you, right? But just be smart, protect yourself, and know what you're getting into.
Yeah, because babies will grow up.
Just wrap up, man. It's okay to wrap up. Trust me. If you want to feel the real feel good, get married, and that way you can do it all day and all night long. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Or young ladies, if she want to get on birth control, or guys who want to get that clip. Don't slip them balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we out here spending $700, $1,000 in rims and car parts and whatever else. You can spend that and get that little slip. And boy, you can shoot the club every night. You don't gotta worry about nothing happening, you know, and then you can have fun, right? Make sure you get stayed muted, okay? So that's all I'm saying. As an adult, you know this. I'm just, it's like hearing, I don't want to work, but I want to have a house, I want to have a car, I want to have all these nice things, but I don't want to work for it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's crazy we talking about kids, and I got my kids in here, right? But that's all I got to say on it. It's just, I'm very passionate about that, because I'm not, whenever the conversation is allowed, or whenever it's time for that conversation, I will bring that up for this podcast, but not right now. But stuff like that, I hold real dear. So yeah, sorry for taking so long, brother. You okay?
You good, bro. You good? You straight.
So changing direction. Real quick, like before we go, I want to mention this because nobody's mentioned it. I know a lot of people mention this, but I know you for certain. This last circuit with your boy Maaaan and Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I think this versus was definitely much needed. Despite how it went down, I think this versus was ordained to take place. It was, because it showed you the common, the oldest, it's one of those stories of old times. You got a superstar, boy band, Maaaan, bigger than life.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Mario, phenomenal R&B artist, but just didn't have the platform Maaaan had.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who's not in music like us, or not like, when I say in music, I mean we do this. But somebody's outside, just actual fans, probably looked at it like, oh, Omarion about to shut Mario ass. He about to get in, boy. You don't know B2K, you about to get him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then seeing the verses showing you the reality of it. A lot of these artists are studio artists. They're not real R&B artists. They're studio artists. So which means they are pretty much great in the studio. They can hit all the notes, all the tunes. Even with live performances, they're singing over the tracks. When it comes to really getting down, Mr. Foley, when it comes to really getting in, live performance, that's when it's really time to show if you really got it. And Mr. Omarion claimed that he needed some auto-tune assistance. All the dancing and twirling in the world could not take you off of the elephant in the room that this brother had no business up there. But what is your opinion, man? Like, what do you think about that?
I think I thought when I heard about this verses, I was like, okay, it's gonna be good. But I also, I was really a fan of Mario too, growing up. I mean, I used to sing his songs in the freaking talent shows, But I thought Omarion was gonna come out there. I knew he was gonna dance because that's what Omarion does. But I didn't think vocally it was going to be that much of a difference. And it wasn't just Mario and Omarion. It was Sammy and Ray J is not even like a singer, so I don't even know why people are really like tripping off that. What's my man's name? That was also in there. Bobby V.
Right.
I knew Sammy could sing. I knew Sammy could blow. And I knew Bobby V could. I understood what Ray J was going to do, so I wasn't even really mad. That Ray J was going to potentially bomb or whatever, or not sound as good. But as far as Omarion and Mario, it kind of caught me by surprise because Mario was actually like pretty much on point the whole time, and big ups to Omarion, and so he did his thing.
Yeah, man. With those two, I was a big Mario fan, more so than Omarion. I wasn't really into the boy bands. I think that for me was like a teenage girl thing.
Yeah,
I definitely respected them boys because they did have some pretty decent songs, but I wasn't like I couldn't tell you a B2K song I cared for or a Mario song I cared for. I think Icebox that was all right,
Yeah.
But I can't tell you a song Omarion came out yet and this is it. But again, it wasn't meant for me, so that's okay. Now Mario, man, he has some stuff that as a team I can relate to. Mr. Frame, I can't believe it. Yeah. So he had some songs, Just Let Me Love You. Yeah. So I mean, he has some joints that I can relate to, especially dating, having crushes in middle school.
Right. Yeah.
So I can relate to him. So I was kind of team Mario going in because I knew more of his stuff, I relate more to his stuff. But I just kind of figured, based off the catalog, Omarion was going on. I just thought Omarion had a whole collab run with Bow Wow that was pretty impressive. He had a whole collab with who else? I think he did one with Chris Brown, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought just like, yo, he's gonna probably smash him. He should have, based off his catalog. If he would have stuck to that catalog and not went out here pushing and twirling, he probably would have had a better chance. But he tried to do a live performance anything, and he was just terrible.
Yeah,
And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he was terrible. So now, don't get me wrong, it was still entertaining. I still enjoyed. I didn't watch all of it. It was just like, yeah, I could just can't do it, you know. But because Mario was straight talking shit to him,
You-
like he was just really bullying that young man out there, and he was just out singing him. He was in his comfort zone. He had his shirt off. He just left the gym, brother ripped up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's feeling good. Like he's really was feeling great because he knew he had it in the bag, and he just enjoyed it. He really gave you a performance, which is what people came for. And I figured, Omarion figured if I go out here dancing with this watermelon, I'm gonna kind of win him over by a gimmick. But that was a terrible gimmick.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, like Omarion, it seemed like he did his usual thing. He would try to show off his body and gyrate, and doing all this stuff. But I'm guessing like you learn who was a studio musician or a studio singer, that needs production, the folks, or somebody that really does this, like born meant to do this, which is sing, so it's like you really saw both sides, and I'm kind of glad that the verses happened too, not because of the negativity, but because of um how you can be almost lied to all your life, and then there's one point you be like, oh, so this is the truth right here. So it goes back to what you hear may have happened in the band, B2K, and you be like, oh, okay, so this is what they talking about. Maybe old couldn't sing, or maybe he wasn't the best singer, or whatever like that. But at the end of the day, they've been like Omarion. He has been in the game for what, about 22 years. I'm thinking about 22 years. Sammy has been in it for about 23. Seems like. And they did their thing. They made some great music as a team. With B2K. Um, and everybody made great music. B2K, Omarion, Mario, Sammy, um, um, Bobby, Ray J. They everybody did their thing. Because Ray J could have like stopped the whole thing with this song he did with Lil Kim. You remember that? Oh my God, what is it called?
I can't hear.
I'm at Lil Kim and Ray J. It's called Wait a Minute. Wait a minute. You remember that song?
I think so. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
vaguely, but I do remember it. Yeah.
yeah, man. That was a big hit. That was a really, really big hit. But I mean, he didn't, But like I said, everybody knew what Ray J was going to bring, um, which I don't think he's like a really, really a singer like that. But I thought it could have been. I mean, I applaud them because they've been out for years, all of them. But I think it could have been. I think it could have been better. I really do. I ain't even gonna lie. Like when I was looking at it, I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, yo, I could have went up there and sung and sounded better than you know almost all of them.
Yeah, of course you have. Of course you could, man. Like, but
Uh,
that's what I meant though. People to just to correct myself. I don't mean it like I was looking for it to be like mean material and
yeah,
joking and making fun. But no, I mean by, and sorry to cut you off, Soli. But I want to just clear that up. I mean by, you got artists out here that's grinding that are leaps and bounds better than all of those young men on the stage.
hmm
And the fact that this happened is showing you that, hey, don't doubt yourself for not being at that level. And I heard Soldier Boy say this: it's not talent, that get you signed. It's your dedication. It's your hunger. It's your grind. There's a lot of people that's out here that have no business out here, that celebrities that we think are terrible, and they might be really terrible, but they grind, and the people who they know and the shoulders they rub against is what makes them who they are, put them in a position to where they are. So when you see people like Amari, you know people, plenty of people in school, middle school, that can out sing that young man. I know 3 people in my life right now that can out dance him. 2 of them, my brother-in-law, Devin Banks, and then our boy, L. So I know they can rap the purpose on the end, man. You know what I'm saying? But the point is that had to happen to show you. Sometimes we look at these people as bigger than life, like you said, look at something different. You look at them as bigger than life, and you realize they're just people who got really great engineers. That's it. That's it. Today's market, or even back then, you don't have to be a great singer or a great rapper. You just need a great engineer and a great production team. And I swear to everything I love, you will make it. And that's what Maaaan is a product of great production, great engineering.
Yeah.
Ray J, same thing. That one wish was his anthem. And it's very of a coincidence that every time he sang that song lately during this, he sang that song live. He always stopped at the same part. Last time I think he did it, and it was something he had a relative that passed away, and right when he came to that note, he kind of acted like he was being emotional, and it was fitting because it was like, oh, she hit this note, I'm emotional to hit this note. So you're like, okay, cool. But then this time, he using the baby as a say, I know I can't sing, but I know there's going to be backlash for this. I'm going to hold this child here to give as a boy. I really couldn't do it because I was holding him. Man, he was farting and everything in my arm, man. I was holding him, he was peeing down my shoulders, and that's why I really couldn't hit the notes like I could, man. So he's figuring out a way to elude from the fact that he really can't sing. Next time he's going to come out there, with a face mask, I was he's getting over a cold and try to sing it and use that as a way to say, as a singer, they use the employees to cover for the fact that they really can't do this. A lot of times they let the crowd sing it. They'll hold the mic to the crowd. It's a gimmick. People. I'm gonna give you the inside gimmick. When artists forget their lyrics, when they do this, it ain't because they want you to sing, it's because they forgot the fucking lyrics and they want you to remind them, oh, that's right. That's just what it is. So I'm sorry.
Like he like he did after that he did an interview. Hey, so big up to his crew, because after that versus he had an interview, and he apologized, to everybody, for not sounding his best, and said he got some he got some redemption to do, and he apologized to his sister first. He apologized to his sister on stage, but I mean, it's one of those things, because like, yeah, being a singer, yeah, you may hit a note that's not as flattering, but I'm gonna tell you one thing: I ain't gonna hit no line of bad notes. That's something I am not going to do. That you will not hear that from my mouth. you would not hear that from me. But I mean, it is what it is, man. He knew he messed up, and he knew it didn't sound good. So, because it's a lot of people that go out there that don't sound as good, but in their head they sound the best.
Oh,
they still go on and do the wrong thing, but at least he was like, well,
like Tisha Campbell.
Like Tisha Campbell.
Gina Martin.
Yeah. But my thing with Tisha Campbell, she can blow.
She can.
She can sing. Like, I'm not sure what's going on, because you never know what's going on with people's lives and everything.
I don't know what you're saying.
But I don't know what was going on, bro. I don't.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know about you, but to what I saw, when singers go through it, that's when they. Have you heard any Keisha Cole album? Her whole life is tragedy, and she blows. Have you seen that Temptation movie? Have you? She had to steal Pampers out of Dollar General and went to jail, and she made that song "When I See You" and it took her to the stratosphere. I'm sorry, depression and sorrow make singers great. I'm just saying.
You're right. You are totally right. But I'm saying on a personal note, like, because you never know what somebody, like, who's going through some vocal problems. Like my man through
Like Avant.
Huh?
Like Avant.
What's wrong with him?
Well, he was sick. He was sad.
Okay, all right. He was sick. Sick. But my boy, like, I don't know if you listen to the Backstreet Boys or have listened to the Backstreet Boys. Brian from the Backstreet Boys, something's going on. So, I don't know, something still is going on with him and his vocals, his vocal cords.
Okay.
But it was like something serious. Like, we all know the dude can blow, you know, but he, at some point in his life, something happened, and I don't know if it traumatized him or it just happened, but his voice was messed up. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like stuff like that.
I got you. Like,
yeah. I don't know. Like, now I'm talking to somebody that don't drink, but like, I have never seen somebody that can't sing when they drink. Not saying she was drinking that night or whatever. On those cases that she got up there and sung and didn't sound the best. But I'm saying it could be stuff like that, but she can actually sing. Like, I've been listening to her ever since well, what's the movie with the
Little Shop of Horrors?
Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah. And on through Martin, and well, back House Party, then Martin, you know, and so on and so forth. You know, she can actually sing, but I not unless it's excitement or whatever. But her and Pam, you know, can blow. But I don't know what what she was going through when she didn't sound the best. I don't know, man. It's confusing to me. I really don't know, because I've never gone through that. So said hopefully I won't. But like, I've never gone through something where I didn't sound good. I'm gonna say that. And I'm not being like big headed. I'm just saying that I have been through something where I could not hold a note, but that was when I was sick. You know, that was understandable. You know, but as far as can't sing and don't sound good, I don't know what brings that on. I really don't.
Yeah. Like you said, man, it could be drugs. You know, drugs and drugs. You know.
Yeah.
It could be, well, singing is like just rapping and singing. One thing I think is what makes singing and rapping equal, because it's not, but it's a it's a gym. It's like a vocal gym, right? And you have to practice your notes. You have to practice your runs. You have to practice your keys. If you don't practice that, I don't give a crap if you are killing. If you don't practice those runs of and you getting out here and you ain't come in a form to where a professional level so long, you're gonna be rusty.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be rusty. Now you can still see the underlying talent there. Like, okay, I can see you still got pipes, but they're a little itchy, a little, you know, it's not as same thing about rapping. Like, you might hear a rapper, they bars is not as punchy or not as profound as they once were, because they got the skill set, they just ain't persisted it, you know. So I think a lot of these singers, and that's what another thing I was alluding to, and after that we can wrap up. That's another thing I was alluding to, that people like Maaaan that always bigger than life, like Mariah Carey that one year was she tried to hit the high note and tragically bombed. but that's because they so used to being, I'm Omarion, bow before me. I'm God. I'm God. I'm Mary J. Blige or whatever, bow before me. It's like you snap your finger and it pops out the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, So with that being said, these artists feel like they don't have to practice like you do it. Like you're constantly in the studio, like you're in the studio right now. So like you're constantly grooming, and like before we start recording, y'all, he was practicing the runs. So it's a constant training to perfect your skill. And I believe, especially when it comes to a versus, I believe a versus should be like a boxing match. If you know you're about to be on stage with your opponent, you need to practice your runs, keep your voice trained up, couple new lemons, whatever you got to do to tune yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You should definitely work out, and it should be hit for hit. You bring up something, I bring on something on the same level. Just like Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills did. That was a great one.
Yeah.
And for that one, that's all they did was just play music.
Right.
It
was vibe.
They weren't really up there performing. They didn't really have to perform, but they played, the DJ played their music, and if they wanted to sing along with it, then they could. But I don't know, man. I think now it's like, especially for the verses, I guess people just want to show what they can do, and what they could do, and what they can do now. So I just think you just got to hit it right. And if you want to do a versus, or whenever you want to hit the stage, make sure you be at 100%. Cause
better than you'll be 120. Because like when I seen the locks, D Block, how y'all know about D Block and Dipset did theirs. That's probably that in one of the first iterations of the verses with Snoop and DMX. Those are my two favorites. Everything else was great, phenomenal, but those were my favorite. Those my Mount Rushmores of verses, because it was just the passion and just the vibe they gave you. It wasn't just a concert; it was a vibe. So with Dipset and D Block did theirs, and just the energy that they brought, it made it entertaining. It wasn't just, here's my track, here's me dancing to my track, here's your track, here's you dancing to your track. We share a few blows. Here's your track. It gave you our experience. You felt involved, and how Jadakiss kind of like navigated that whole verses, and how he kind of like DJ'd the whole thing in a sense, right? He was like the headliner the whole time. He was like involving the audience, doing freestyles. It really gave you more than just a concert. And I think for this last one, those young men didn't quite understood the assignment, so they gave you a concert, because that's what they do. Most of them are still own concerts currently, so they do that same feel. But I don't want the concert. I want to be involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what makes a versus to me, is because it's an experience. It's like being in a lounge and they talking to the fans, or they interacting or doing different things, or sharing stories about behind this track. How the track came to be. Man, I was drunk this night. They gave you an insight behind the studio type of feel.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why I love the DMX and Snoop, because it gave you that real, raw brother to brother. They're singing each other's joints. They're not trying to say, I'm better than you, better than me. They vibe to each other's joints. They having conversations. There was parts of that verses where it wasn't even a song played for like 15 minutes. They were just talking.
Right.
They were sharing stories. And the fans was there for it. He was like, I'm here for all of it. You did what? Oh, I ain't know that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's for. That's what it's about. It's just you just vibing. So this one wasn't bad. It was needed, because it had to show, just because you have more hits don't mean you're a better artist. And that's another subject, because I'm gonna mention this. I'm gonna try to wrap it up, but I don't want to go too far into it because I know Steve-O will probably take this time to talk about me. But that's why in my mind, in my heart of hearts, I believe right now in this current time, as we stand, Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson. I don't care what you say. This is just me. Overall, he's better than Michael Jackson. I'm sorry. Say what you got to say. I'm not talking about Michael. People say, well, Michael Jackson, people passing out when he was still there. He did. He did. Michael Jackson means killer. He did. He did. But how many kickbacks, or how many parties, or how many clubs, or how many just gatherings you've been to where Michael Jackson stayed on rotation now? You know what I'm saying? How many you have Chris Brown played now? You know what I'm saying? Hell, you get R. Kelly played more than Michael Jackson now, and R. Kelly the whole pedophile. So, you know, I'm not trying to compare. Michael Jackson is Mount Rushmore, God level, sure. But I'm just talking about just raw, naked talent. Like, this brother could dance. This brother could sing. This brother's an actor. This brother is light skinned and can beat people asses. I don't know like music crap like that. And he can. So, and he just brings
all that stuff you just named. Michael Jackson can do. Now,
Michael Jackson.
Michael never was. I don't remember him being in no fight, but all the other stuff, he can sing, he can dance, he can act.
He can't. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. He's not.
What?
He's not doing that.
I mean, but Michael, they never put Michael in the predicament to do what is the movie that they were in? Chris Brown and Idris
Taken.
Yeah.
No, not Taken, but whatever you talking about, whatever it is.
Takers.
Mm.
They never put Michael Jackson. They're like, all right, Michael, we want you in here, and we want you to be in this with Marlon Brando. We want Sammy Davis Jr., you know, Frank Sinatra, you know, we want you in here in this movie called Takers. It was more of Michael was a money machine with music. Now I think it's more avenues now that Chris can actually, you know, hold on to now because you know it's the new age. But as far as talent, Chris is a talented brother. I don't know, my
you gotta let go of the old. You trying to be true to the old school, man, bro. Listen, I think even then, and people, this is gonna be a tidbit for the next one, all right? So that means y'all gotta join in, all right? But even when Michael Jackson was in his prime, what made Michael Jackson bigger than life was the fact that he was in the spotlight for so long. You watched him, well, you didn't, but his fans watched him grow up from the Jackson 5 to the Michael Jackson to we ended knowing. Mm-hmm. Right? So he had that room that no other artist at that time had other than the Isley Brothers at the time. So Michael Jackson is definitely, again, he's one of the greatest of all time, people. I'm not gonna, but in my opinion, even then, Prince was far more talented than Michael. It's not even level. It's not the same planet, different universe. Prince was a real musician. He wrote his own songs. He played all his instruments. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as a choreographer as Michael, but he gave you a great show. He gave you great energy. He was the only brother that was light skinned with heels that could pull more chicks than you could. So
yeah, you know, and I've had this conversation with Todd before. It's like of that Michael Jackson and Prince conversation, you know, and I think there were two different artists. I really do. Like you said, you know, Prince was, you know, a musician that could play pretty much everything. Michael, the people that really piqued Mike's curiosity was James Brown, you know, Jackie Wilson, people like that, you know, that are not really known for playing instruments, even though James Brown did play drums, piano, and stuff like that. Michael Jackson could play piano, and he probably could play more things. Like we don't really know what he played on certain albums, but I think it was asked. People asked the producers, like Quincy. They may have asked, like, Mike, we just want you to sing the hell out of this track because we know you're gonna give this track to us. Prince had already knew what he wanted to do, and it was a beef there too. It was a beef with Prince and Mike, because of whatever they had going on. It's a different topic, for every episode. But I think that oh no, it's so great, man. That is so great, yo. It's because you got love for both.
You got love for both.
Like, you got love for Chris, even though that stuff that happened, we were in college when that stuff went down, right? So it's like, but he prevailed and got through it. So I applaud him on that,
Yeah.
Mike,
I think
Mike go. I mean,
Mike is definitely Mount Rushmore. And people, like I said, we follow us for the next episode. But to wrap that up, everybody gonna have their opinion. I don't want to belittle Mike's legacy. What I mean by talent, I'm not talking about out singing the other one. I'm not saying put him in Mike Legend Boys do the thing. I'm just talking about the overall performance.
Like the package.
Yeah,
because Chris
Mike.
everything, yeah.
What killed Mike was that whole touching the kid with him. Whether we know that's not true. We know that what's really going on. We know them boys from the Addis, Martin, you know how I do. That men try to capitalize. They can do what they're gonna do. You feel me? You know what time it is. So, but that kind of shortened his legacy. You more like this generation kids know Mike from being the butt of the joke. That's what I mean. They don't know Mike from Mike's true legacy. They know him from being he could have been touching people. You know what I'm saying? That's how they know Mike. They know he's the same, but they know that more Front Street than his artistry.
Yeah, I agree. And that's sad. It touches back on what we had talked about before. The negativity always gets put into the light. And people want to know the negative stuff before the positive stuff. So it is what it is, man. But we'll touch on that. We'll touch more on that on the next episode.
Yeah, more as you see, I got my kids. Y'all go to the other room now, okay? So we about to make some arts and crafts or something, fatherhood. But yeah, man, most definitely next episode, people chime in on us. We're gonna throw out some ideas. We're gonna finish up this conversation with Michael and Prince or Michael and Chris Brown. We can talk about that possible versus. So real quick, Soli, I'm gonna let you put the links. Tell them where to find you. Tell them what you're working on. Let them know.
Right now, Soli in the Super Band, we're working on our debut album. You can I'm also doing this Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute, with the CJ Baker, with Mr. CJ Baker and a slew of great musicians. So we have a free show coming up, at a festival in a couple weeks. And so I've been doing that Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute along with the debut album. It's been keeping me busy. Still doing a lot of merchandise, man. But you can always, get in contact with me on Instagram, One Super Band Music. That's number one, then Super Band Music, and Facebook, Solely in the Super Band. So yeah, just hit me up.
So yeah, for me. So I got a special guest who want to chime in. This is my youngest here, Cash. Let's do it up.
What's up, man?
Yeah, he crying. But yeah. I'm Chris Lee. So you can obviously find me at the Kickback page. DA Kickback as is down here. I put that there. So if you try to find the page, you can find it that way. as well as Chris Lee, which is up here in this corner or whichever corner here, my comedy content. So for the most part, this is what real life is. Fatherhood, kids, trying to follow a dream. This is, don't let nothing stop you, man. Don't let that be your excuse. So if you don't take any inspiration from this, just remember, hey man, if Omarion can do it, anybody can do it. Nah, I'm just playing. But I'm just joking, Omarion. You want to go, brother. Number love. But yeah. So the podcast, our shows will be airing on Mondays at 1:00. The shows will be airing. So this is pre-recorded, but they will be aired on Monday at 1:00. So if you watch this episode and this episode ends, you want to know when is the next one. I think he's trying to get me to wrap up. You heard, but Mondays at 1:00 though. So follow us, man. Shout out to Don Trail who couldn't be with us today, man. That's our brother. That's another one of our castmates. Shout out to Zebo and the Distance Podcast. He doing his thing over there. Much love to him. Our boy L, our boy Bryson, and everybody else that's involved in the Rat Pack. So thank y'all for supporting those who have been supporting. Peace out.
Peace out.